How to make an effective demand letter. So, what I mean by a demand letter is that someone has wronged you in some way and you need some sort of justice. And it's typically money because we're talking about civil cases. So, perhaps you are trying to send a demand letter before hiring an attorney, or an attorney, you are not able to find an attorney to help you, and you need to send a letter to the person who hurt you or wronged you in some way in order to get some money back. And I'm going to go through a couple tips. My name is Jon Howell. I'm an attorney in California, and I primarily handle cases where people have been hurt, like car crashes or falls, and help them get money for their injuries and what they went through. So I've gone through many, many demand letters, and I've helped people write demand letters. And there are a couple key components that I'm going to go through with you. First is you want to make sure you're sending it to the right person, and you want to make sure they got it. Depending on the demand letter, if it's to an individual and I want to make sure I got it, I often will send the letter by certified mail because I want proof that they got the letter. I don't want a situation where later on down the line, someone says, "Oh, I never got your letter. I didn't know that's what you were asking for." It's also helpful if you plan on doing a small claims court case because you're going to need to show proof to the small claims court judge or the commissioner that you tried to resolve the case informally and you sent a letter and you need proof that they received the letter. Also, I often will send a demand letter by email, and sometimes I'll just call the person up. Usually I'm negotiating with an insurance company or an attorney, and I will just call them and make sure that they got my demand letter. But, obviously you want to make sure you're sending it to the right person and that they received it. After that, usually in the demand letter, the first thing you want to say is why they owe you money. Keep it real simple. If it's a car accident, like you rear-ended me and you caused me injuries, or if it's like you're suing a contractor that did some work on your home, you came and did work and your work was poor quality and it caused me a lot of problems. You want to second say exactly what it is you want. So in a car accident case, you want, and even in the contractor case, you want to say, I want a monetary amount. And in a car accident case, it's going to be an amount for your medical bills, maybe your lost wages, and your pain and suffering. And you want to come up with a number, and it can be very hard to come up with a number, but you want to make sure you come up with a number that's high enough, that's reasonable, but also you can, if necessary, can negotiate from. Same thing with a breach of contract. You want to come up with a number, generally your damages from the breach of contract. Then the third thing you want in that first paragraph is a deadline for them to respond. I usually recommend about 30 days. That gives everybody enough time to receive your letter, to review it, and respond. Of course, you want to keep factor in like if there's any pressing deadlines, like if you waited to the last minute to send the letter, you may have a problem with the statute of limitations or the time to file a complaint. So you want to think about that. But typically, I try to give 30 days. I've given demand letters as short as like a week or 2 weeks. Oftentimes, people will call up asking for more time anyway. In California, they did pass a law about certain types of demand letters to insurance companies where you have to give 30 days. So I think 30 days is a reasonable number. After that initial paragraph, you want to give a summary of what happened. And I recommend remove all the emotional language, remove all the adjectives and adverbs. You hurt me really badly. My life is ruined forever. Try not to include that language because it doesn't help generally in these demand letters, but include key factual evidence that is really not disputed. So, on blank date, I was at this intersection, I was stopped, and you rear-ended me. You caused $5,000 of damage to my car. The damage was all to the back of my car. I'm attaching photos to this letter. Afterwards, I went to see my doctor and I had back pain and I had to get some chiropractic treatment, and I had to have 12 sessions of chiropractic treatment. And my doctor says that I have a back sprain because of what you did to me, something that simple. Or in a case against a contractor, we had a contract. You said you were going to do this type of work. You ended up doing the work of very poor quality and it caused a number of problems. And I had to have another contractor come out to fix your work. And this is how much it cost. Very factual. Then you want to attach to the letter any evidence you have. Photographs are great. The contract, if a contract's in dispute, a police report for a car accident, medical records, bills. Of course, if you're going to attach medical records and bills, I do recommend removing or redacting personal information like your social security number or your home address if you don't want people to have that. Then underneath the letter again, just restate what you said at the top. Again, I'm asking for this much money. I'm asking that you respond within 30 days. And that is the key to a very simple but effective demand letter. Doesn't mean that they're going to settle with you, but now you have a nice, clear demand letter with a summary of the case. And if you need to hire a lawyer later or go to small claims court, you have that letter that you can use that summarizes the case well and shows that you tried to resolve the case.